Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in today for another video. This is going to be one of those unscripted ramblings, which I hope you're getting quite used to now. So today I'm talking a wee bit about mindfulness. You know, I've mentioned this before in a few other videos, and I really wanted to tie it in with why I do these drawings and how I feel that they allow me to find mindfulness. Mindfulness is quite a personal thing, I think, for a lot of people, and I don't mean that it's personal in the way that you can only do it the way that you do it. I mean that it takes a while to find out which type of mindfulness works for you, and there's a whole variety of ways you can do it, and certainly you can go online and look at all the different methods to become mindful. But basically mindfulness is about being in the present moment. It's about not worrying about what's happened and also not catastrophizing about what might happen. You know, I've mentioned before that we have a tendency to ask this what if question, and we get quite often stuck there. You know, what if I see that person tomorrow? What if I have to do this thing at work that I hate? What if I can't get a good night's sleep tonight? And all of those they're useful questions 10,000 years ago, when the question was, what if there's no water? What if there's a lion outside the cave tomorrow? What if there's no food? But these questions now just cause us to be really quite distressed, and often they don't really serve much of a purpose. So when you practice mindfulness, you can find there's quite a lot of benefits, and being in the moment and being in the present allows you to stop worrying about those things that haven't even happened yet, and then maybe gain a bit of perspective on what has happened, and is it actually all that important? You can find that the benefits of mindfulness include things like reducing your anxiety, reducing depression, reducing stress, and even things like pain can be reduced by practicing mindfulness. You might also find there's improvements with things like blood pressure too, just by spending more time in a relaxed state. So as I said, there's lots of ways you can practice this, and for me, I think I tend to use drawing. And if you've been watching the channel for a while now, you'll see that I post drawings all the time, and especially the sort of mindful doodling ones. Those are a way for me just to, for the sake of half an hour, 45 minutes, just be in a different place altogether. It's a little bit like being lost in a good book. Time just disappears, and as a result of that, you're not really thinking about anything else either. You're just concentrating on the drawing, concentrating on where the next line's going to go, concentrating on what colour you're going to use next, and therefore I don't really think about things that previously, before starting the drawing, were bugging me. I think this is called a flow state, and that is where nothing in the outside world seems to penetrate that bubble. You just seem to be in a zone, or as they say, in the zone. And that allows you to block out a lot of these feelings and thoughts. And because of that, it helps me feel a lot more relaxed. Now, I've been doing these drawings for a long time, and I think I've been trying to sell that as an option for some people, but I realise it's not the right one for everyone. But you can practice mindfulness in lots of other ways. When I'm doing it, it helps me also to figure out solutions. Now, I don't mean that I'm actively thinking about problems, but sometimes a solution just pops into my head, which it never would have happened if I didn't have a clear mind and had removed a lot of those other stressors that are, you know, clogging up the brain space. So when I'm in the middle of doing one of these drawings, the problems that I do have, they are still there in the background, but my brain seems to be trying to figure them out subconsciously, and therefore I'm not having to really think about them. And suddenly, pop, here comes the solution. Other things appear as well. I sometimes have a creative idea that comes into my head that I would never have thought about if I was thinking about work. I sometimes find that a memory appears, something I'd forgotten about a long time ago. And I suppose it's a little bit like being in a meditative state where you're just concentrating on your breath work, and then these things come sort of unbidden into your mind, and then you can either accept them or you can dismiss them. And I found that doing these doodles really helps me zone in on that. So when I'm doing these drawings as well, I do tend to find that it's just very, very calming. It just allows me to be relaxed and calm and forget about everything. Time obviously is of the essence when you have a busy life with lots of things in it, but for those half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that, I just find that the world just melts away and it fills me up. So the rest of the day after I stop doing that feels way, way, way easier. So I would encourage you to think of doing something like doodling or drawing. If that's not your thing, do something else. Something that you have to kind of focus on, but at the same time you can get into that flow state or into that zone where problems melt away, but solutions might bubble to the surface. I hope you found that useful, and I hope it kind of begins to give you an insight as to how I think of mindfulness and why I think doing something like drawing is very helpful for that. I mean, you can be a terrible, terrible drawer and still find yourself in a flow state. So, by all means, give it a go. If you've got any questions, if there's anything you would like me to answer about this, or if you've got any ideas for videos as well that you think might be useful along these lines, please do leave a comment below. And also, if you are interested in doing some doodling, I've created these doodling diaries which people can order from Amazon, and the links are in the description. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.